Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to the top 4 feature match in Yuki Overdose's third Dueling Network tournament. Joined with me today are Brian Wigley, Michael Lux, and Steffon Bizzel. Why don't you all say hello in the order I announced you?
What's up? I think I was first.
But that was terrible.
I'm last, so mine was easy.
I wasn't even expecting it that time. Like it was all good the first time.
Anyway, so today we're watching a match between Yuki Zaninovich and Giovanni Del Moral. This feature match is going to be, is particularly noteworthy because Giovanni Del Moral won our second Dueling Network tournament, and Yuki Zaninovich won our first Dueling Network tournament. So the two champions of the last two tournaments are playing now in the top 4, Fire Fists against Windups. Anything you guys want to say about their decks to start off?
Yeah, just throwing that out there, I did not realize that the guy that Gio's playing won the first one. I didn't realize that was the same guy.
Well, it is.
Well, it's pretty dope.
It is pretty dope.
So how about that conversion side?
Well, all right.
So, well, actually, let me get your thoughts before things get too heated. What do you guys think about how this match is going to play out?
Well, did these guys already face off earlier?
That's right. But Yuki won because of his conversion side, which had a huge surprise factor.
Exactly, and I remember Gio talking about how he had dead rivalries in Deck Devi going into game 2, or whatever game it was, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so he won't do that this time, so the matchup I think will be better in his favor because he won't sign those dead cards in.
Well, see,
But at the same time, the other guy, just might keep the same deck that he has now. So who knows? It's all a mind game.
Yuki has the upper hand. Maybe not this match, but just as far as game 2 in particular, because he could choose just to keep in windups, and then, like Chris said in the last feature match, that matchup it's kind of 50-50.
Yep.
Or he could side into his conversion side, and then it's pretty much a mirror match. And then if that happens, then obviously Giovanni has a side deck for the mirror match, and Yuki's just stuck with his standard conversion side.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's kind of that's what's crazy about conversion sides.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only thing I don't like about conversion sides these days is like when you run into your Dark World and Insectors and stuff like that. Like that's just not solid because you need actual cards against those matchups. But I don't know. See what happens.
It's gonna be interesting because he might miss side. Like he doesn't know.
Well, it's more of how Giovanni is going to side, because that's what is more dependent on. Like, are you going to side in your rivalries and hope that he didn't side into his conversion and kept windups in? But that's a huge risk, because then if you draw him when he did convert, then it's just.
To sum it up, it's all mind games. So.
Yeah.
So, let me ask you guys then. If you guys are playing Yuki's deck right now, and you know that you've played against Giovanni, you know that he knows what your side deck is, what would you do game 2?
I would.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I would 100% convert into the other deck, because now I don't know how mentally strong in Yu-Gi-Oh! Giovanni is. I've never met him in real life or anything. So I don't. If there's somebody, like, it's, I guess, a respect thing. If I was playing, say, some of the best players in the game right now, like if I was playing Billy Brake or Tyler Tadman, people like that, then maybe I wouldn't convert, just because they would try to play the mind game. Oh, he's not going to convert just because I played him earlier in Swiss. But I honestly think Giovanni is going to think too much into it, and it's going to be like, oh, he's just going to stay into windups, and then
that's where the whole trickery comes. Honestly,
I think Giovanni's going to try to skip a step and think, oh, he's just going to stay into windups, and then.
I think it all depends if Yuki wins game 1 or loses game 1 also. like going first and going second type thing. I honestly think that's a big factor.
That's
You're
true.
going first, you might wind up then.
Yeah, oh yeah, going first, you definitely.
Right, exactly. I mean,
but I think that's more of something. I'm sure he did that. He's done that throughout the tournament. If he goes first, then he's gonna stay windups. If he's going second, then
yeah, trying to get that early shark master. It makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's just more of how he's played the whole tournament instead of just how he would play this particular match.
Another thing, like I said, again, I didn't realize that this Yuki guy or this person who won the first one, I didn't realize it was the same guy. But the fact of the matter that he didn't play water again and just played something different, because probably like whoever did realize it was him, like, oh, he's probably playing water, and then he ends up summoning wind-up cards, and they're like, oh, all right, different mindset.
On that point, I just want to share. I don't want to discredit Yugi or anything like that. He's doing very well, and he seems to be playing very consistently. If he can top 2 tournaments like that, but I will say though that last night, he's one of those reasons why I overslept today, because it was like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning or something, and he says I have no idea what to play, and he's sending me he sent me a water deck, and I said I don't like waters, and and we talked about things, and I said, well, I said I would do windups, or I said one of the things you could do, which is one of the things I would do, or I would consider, would be windups transitioning, and I said, you could try transitioning into heroes, or maybe even Fire Fist. He's like, what? How would you do that? And I made a mock-up build of Fire Fist siding into Fire Fist, and he changed like 1 or 2 things, but he for the most part he just decided to run with it, and it's pretty crazy that he never played the deck before or anything like that, but he seems to for at least a long while, like he was undefeated in games too. Like it just seems to be working out for him.
Solid.
Yeah, I'm really happy. Like particularly on my end, I'm sitting here, I'm watching it, and I'm just rooting for him in the background, and it's like, yay, he's doing well.
Right.
Go Yuki. I like that.
Well, just curious from your standpoint, may I ask you a question, Chris? Do you ever plan on playing again? Or are you just gonna continue things like this, or?
You mean competitively?
Yeah, like coming back to the game, yes.
No way, man.
No way, okay. Why no way? Like, that was too quick.
I guess I don't want this to turn into an interview of me. Interview for me.
No,
but,
that's what I asked you.
No. But I don't mind answering you. I'll just say that there was a point when I realized that to continue playing, like I had to accept the reality of diminishing returns on my investments of time and energy in the game. Like at a certain point, like you get to travel for a lot. You get to travel, you meet new people, you win prize cards, you get some sort of fame in this community, and it's rewarding in a lot of different senses. But after a certain point, the rewards just aren't there anymore. Like there's only so much fame you can get. There's only so much, so many places you can travel to, etc., etc. So there was that, and there was also just the general realization that I spent like 5 years playing competitively, and it was great. I got so many things out of it. I would recommend it to so many people who have never done it. But at a certain point, I was like, hey, I've spent 5 years doing this, and I'm no closer to getting or having 1,000 other things that have nothing to do with being a champion at a children's card game. So I said, I'm just gonna stop being this person and start being this other person that I want to be, and that was just a decision I made, and it's life, you move on.
No, I understand. That's really strong. I appreciate that. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, really respectable.
Wait, Yu-Gi-Oh's not life?
Oh yeah.
But there are people who play, and there are people who enjoy it, and I don't want to take anything away from them. There are still people who are still getting things out of this game that they wouldn't be able to get any other way, and more power to them. I was just not one of those people.
Well, I really, really respect your reasoning for the main fact, because like people like Jerry Wang or the pros like that, they all say, oh, because this game is trash now, you can't win, the cards are too powerful, which is all true. But I'm so glad that you didn't actually give that answer, because most people always say, oh, well, I quit because the game is shit now, and it's just not that good anymore,
Yeah.
So it's about time somebody actually said like a legit answer. Instead of that same old Yu-Gi-Oh's garbage now.
Anyway, back to this match. Lance.
We are way behind.
Yeah, we are really like I feel like they just started the game and then they put out a bunch of cards.
Well, you know what? This is my first one, so I'm sorry. I gotta get used to.
No, it's good, man. You're good. You're doing fine. So looking at the situation, it looks like Yuki's in worse situation than Giovanni. Actually, to be clear, is Magician used?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's,
He got a rabbit. He has a rabbit. He has a live rabbit banished, and he got another one off Magician. And he started Shark and Rat off of the 2 factories.
Oh, right. Never mind. I take it back about being in a bad position.
saw more of this game than I have.
Yeah, so I
Well,
think it's been a
I'm
grind
sitting
game.
here, I'm sitting there staring at the screen, but I was also listening to Chris and what he was saying. So
I take back my thing about Yuki being in a bad spot. He just needs to survive the turn.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but that's going to be a
Easier said than done.
Well,
Yeah.
I definitely. I mean, if Yuki's making reads, me personally just look at. I definitely read a Tencent and a Starlight Road set, or at least Judgment. Like sometimes Road and Judgment are a little skeptical, but he did summon those. He summoned the bear and just like went attacking like with no problem. So I probably put him on Starlight Road. Maybe he has both. I don't know. But,
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have either, actually.
yeah, just again the mind game. So.
I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't have Solemn or Starlight Road, and that's the only reason he's thinking right now. He's thinking if he wants to summon, and if he does summon, what happens if his opponent has Torrential? Because if he summons a monster, then he has game. Like, or excuse me, maybe not game, but he wouldn't be able to remove Magician.
Yeah.
And I think that's what he's trying to. Otherwise, like I would agree. But I think with 2 factories on the field, you kind of bypass the heavy storm thing.
I mean, if he can get through the back row and right now through that rabbit and summon another monster, it is game.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
If he just summons another monster, it's game. He has 2 cards in his hand, and he said he was thinking. So the only thing I could see him thinking about is if he wants to summon or not.
Nah, I think he could be thinking about which one he wants to pop, and then he realizes, oh, I have to pop the rabbit so that. Yada yada yada.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I guess that was sort of automatic to me, but I guess that
was kind of weird.
I guess that could be something. You're right. But if I had to guess, I would just say it was.
I'm gonna go with I believe.
Well, if he does have Judgment set, then I guess he'd be moving a little faster if he did have Judgment. But
if you have Judgment set, then it would.
Probably not bottom.
yeah, bottomless is his option too.
Oh wait, never mind. That was previous. Never mind. This is the moment of truth. Are we going to game 2?
Let's see. What could Yuki have? It could be Mirror Force.
I mean, same problem, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean it'd be the same thing.
Could be Mirror Force.
I'm over here tensing up like I'm in the match. Feel like I'm in the match section. Like,
Someone made the point that. Well, actually, whatever. Never mind. I'll ignore that. Ooh.
1,000 in effect.
Something tells me.
That has to be game then, because
That's game.
Yeah.
You definitely don't let, like, if you have anything to stop an attack, you stop there.
Of course.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Now Chain wouldn't do anything because they're both normal, so there's nothing that can stop.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly.
Right. He's making him attack.
Hey, it's not over till it's over. I like that, so that's good.
Well, you know what? That's really interesting. Does anyone know the results of how their last match played out?
probably good episode.
No. Except for the fact, like I said, that Gio had the deck devastation and rock piece. From what I was reading, that's all I know. So I just assume that's
This is what I'm excited to see about the whole match. Game 1 was just a filler for this. Like, it's a lot of luck is going to be involved if Giovanni's going to side.
Hey, something I just thought about, Chris. I have to ask. What did you say when that kid or whoever he was when he flipped that mirror for me earlier? Did you say anything or?
Describe the situation. I watched a couple feature matches and a couple Mirror Forces.
Oh, okay. Damn, never mind. I had three. I think I had Diva.
Oh
Monster
yeah,
Jones.
yeah. No, I remember.
Yeah.
I was.
And Inzectors, like, I don't know if you know, but most of the time it's just Threatening Roars, Torrential Tributes, Call
Right.
on. It's normally not Mirror Force. And, like, I just made a play and went with it.
You know what I did? I'll tell you exactly what I did. I did one of these. Ooh.
I mean, Inzectors don't normally play it, so I mean, like, I had to put my money on that.
Two things. One, I want to point out that their first match went 2-0 in Yuki's favor. Second thing, you all have their deck lists. Why don't you share your thoughts of what they're siding in, what they're siding out?
All right.
That's really hard because, like I said, Giovanni can go about this 3 different ways. He can assume that Yuki's staying with windups and side for windups. He can assume he's converting into Fire Fist and side for that, or he can just not really side at all and like side the Dust Tornado and the Lance.
Yeah, exactly.
And like Soul Taker, just the Veiler, just the general cards that like that they're okay against every matchup. Like he can just take a neutral standpoint or risk it on one or the other.
Yeah, I think the Veil is coming in for sure.
Yeah, if I was Giovanni, I'd probably just take the neutral.
Yeah, the risk versus reward there is definitely since he did I don't know, he did win game 1, so
I could easily see.
see he
Ooh.
going first. He kept in windups. That's why I said the Veil would definitely come in.
So you think that's just been part of his general strategy all tournament? If I'm going first, I'm keeping windups?
I mean, you know what? That would be the most ideal because windups definitely have the strongest turn 1 in the game right now. So it makes sense.
I think that's been the general.
I mean, there's no reason not for you not to try to open up with Main Shark going first when you have the most opportune time. So why not?
It amplifies it here though because if he was playing against just anybody and he kept in windups, then they would still side rivalries and whatever else. Chances are Giovanni didn't side in rivalries, which makes this Magician Shark even better.
That is exactly what I was thinking, by the way.
Because now it's not like, okay, on my next draw phase, my opponent's going to flip rivalry, and now I'm just stuck with like a Shockmaster or whatever I choose to keep.
Right. The fact that he's playing the conversion side, whether or not he used it, played out to his advantage here. Or can play.
It's similar to when Gores was such a big card. Or, I mean, I guess you can say Gores is a big card now, but it's kind of faded away. But Gores is one of those things when it's just people will play around it even if they haven't seen it because of the impact it has on the game. And now you just... This is basically this is game 1 Magician Shark, essentially.
Right.
There's nothing he has to worry about that you'd normally have to worry about from Fire Fist.
Right.
I'm amazed that there's not one Veiler in his hand because he has 3 in his main deck now.
Right. That was the one thing that
honestly, he could Veiler right here though. Don't be surprised. He has Dark Hole and he tries to call on spells and he Veilers the Shockmaster. Well, take that back. Never mind. Just saying.
Well, now it's just a matter of if Giovanni did side in the rivalries and if he drew it.
Yeah, that's... Otherwise, I don't see this game going well.
Right. It would... He shuffled twice.
Well, then again, if you don't have an answer to Tour Guide, Tim Tempo is good too.
I think he's got it. Yeah.
I mean, when you have a Magician Shark 3 back row, chances are you have an answer, but you can always hope.
Too strong, man. Too strong.
Hopefully Konami does something right this ban list and gets rid of Shockmaster.
I don't see that happening.
I don't think you can end phase.
Yeah, they can't. You can't end phase it.
Right. So, someone, hold on. I'll take care of that.
It's actually funny. I just timed out right as I saw that.
Oh my God.
Let it go. Oh my God. See, stuff like that, I can't.
It doesn't. You know what? look at the bright side. At least it was a torrential.
Yeah, I was about to say it's not a compulsory or anything like that. So essentially what would have happened is he would have drawn, and then the MSC is the same one.
He did flip it, not knowing that it was like an illegal move. Like,
yeah, I agree. And even then, like I said, Giovanni missed it too, so it's also his fault for sure.
That's what I said. I think it's both players' fault.
Yep.
No, I totally agree. I think Giovanni knows that he's dead on board and he's trying to. If he's fighting for a game loss, then I think he knows he's dead on board.
Yeah, that's probably why he said game loss, because he really didn't want to stretch it to game 3 if it needs to go that far. He wants to just try to get a quick 2-0 and call it a day.
He was obviously fishing for a free win right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Especially because he won game 1. I think he'd be a little bit more lenient if he lost game 1, but
yeah,
whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, as a judge, you're supposed to try and shut that down.
If it was something relevant, like if it was knowledge that was relevant to the situation, then I could understand where he has some sort of argument. But when it's something like torrential, like there's no, like, what are you arguing? Even if he doesn't do it on end phase and does it on like standby phase or something, then it's the same result.
The only counter argument to that, by the way, is that you don't necessarily know if he's going to typhoon the torrential. But in no situation does that matter.
Well, but that's all random though. You can't just like you can't argue one way or the other what he's going to MST, because him MSTing to begin with was all chance.
I mean, the only reason he did it was because it was end phase, but
right. No, I'm not even saying it was the right play regardless. Like if he has a trap card, then I would still save it just in case he has like rivalry or something and play it on that. And then if he doesn't have rivalry and you don't win this turn, then you would have it for his comeback when he draws Tinky or something. Like I would have saved MST regardless. I don't think in phasing it was the right play either way.
Yeah, but we see now that he declared Shockmaster traps and he didn't have the Veiler, so he knows he's dead on board. So there was no reason that he should have been debating for a game loss. He probably should just scoop and go to game 3.
Wait, is he still? Is this still game on board? I know if he would have removed Rabbit and went Rat into Rat and get Leviair, get back Rabbit, or something of that nature, or you could go Giga Brilliant, anything like that. That would have been game. But is this game if he goes Giga Brilliant?
No, he's 200 shy.
Yeah, I didn't think it was. And that's another thing.
Giovanni's trying to say that Yuki didn't use Shockmaster's effect. He never said.
You know what? That's really funny. I was just looking for that. Like, when did I see one attachment, but I don't see when he said traps.
Wait, no. Look, it's at the very top. Like, you can actually scroll all the way up to the top. He says spells, and
right.
then the guy's like this guy K, and then how would that help anything? And then right after that.
I see.
It says traps right there, and then right after he says traps, Giovanni says you cheated. He definitely called traps.
Yep.
Yeah.
I just don't remember it because it's been so far along now.
Probably normal summon that game.
Unless he has Book of Moon, which I doubt. But no, does he play Book of Moon? Take that back.
Yeah, he plays lands. But wait, even if is Giga Brilliant not the same thing right there? If not more damage?
2,100 plus another 1,200 across the board.
I think
Giga Brilliant would have been 300 more.
Yeah,
there was a little bit more. Yep.
It's more damage that could play around Lance. I don't know if that would actually play around it. Like, I don't know if that would be enough, but it's still more damage. Where if he did have Lance to stay alive,
yeah,
you'd put more damage on board and then not lock yourself down with Acid Golem.
It was 9,200 versus 9,500, so it wouldn't have even mattered. I don't think.
Yeah, so I mean, it wouldn't have mattered as far as having gained that turn, but he wouldn't have locked himself down with Shockmaster. That way, if he lances or something, then in main phase 2, since your Zen Mighty is removed and you need that coming back, you could make like Solasil or Mountain or something and freeze his other back row.
Yeah, true.
And then still have Zen Mighty coming back, where you couldn't with Acid Golem because you can't special summon. So that's just one of those things that like it's a misplay that doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the game was over on the first turn.
So let me pick your brains for a moment while we have some time, and I hope Giovanni takes a few moments here to just calm down a little bit, but because I understand his passions have to be enraged a little bit, but while we have a moment, I want to ask: do any of you, knowing that this between the last tournament's controversy, between this, like, there are 135 watchers, that's more people than were in my tournament, there are people who are interested in this and looking at it and then seeing this sort of thing happening and then forming their opinions based off of it. I want to ask, do any of you envy me right now, or what I have to go through to make this work?
Well, you're unbanned, so I envy anybody who's unbanned. That's it.
Say that. Repeat that again, Chris. I'm sorry. Can you say that again?
Do you envy me? Do you wish that you were me? Do you wish that you were hosting these tournaments and
with all the drama going on right now?
Yeah.
Two words. Two words. Hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say no way.
What if I made you the extremely lucrative offer of $0? Would that make you feel better?
Oh, that might sway my opinion.
Man.
Okay, I need to stop.
I mean, honestly, I appreciate you coming back and doing all this, bringing people together, because nobody was thinking about doing any of this for the longest. So this is pretty good for the Yu-Gi-Oh players to learn something and get some experience, like you were saying, last tournament before Miami, and I think this is really going to influence like whoever's watching for Miami. I think it's going to influence a good bit.
On a side note, I think Yuki definitely converted his side deck this time.
I think that's a good call.
I think Giovanni realizes that because he rabbited into 2 Horse Raiders, meaning he probably doesn't have BDVs in.
Did any of you guys put off any homework to participate in this tournament?
No, I actually graduated.
I hate you.
I'm thinking of going back though, so
I hate you.
I think that comment was directly towards Steffon because I didn't enter this tournament.
Right.
Unfortunately, I guess.
Or to watch this tournament.
Well, I took a break. I'm going back in the fall to get my bachelor's, finish my bachelor's.
Well, I guess I'm the only one then. Any of you guys want to do my homework?
Oh, no problem, man. Got you.
What subject?
Well, there's energy conversion and then electromagnetic fields. If you want to.
Is it like physics?
It's. I mean, it's an extension of physics. So, but I mean, if you want to do that, like, I'll totally be appreciative. I'll give you a free entry into the next tournament.
You mean the next 10 tournaments? 20 tournaments?
Man, I'm so tired, and I have an 8 o'clock class.
Well, I guess he didn't. Guess he didn't convert.
Yeah.
Which.
Not necessarily. I think he actually would keep the rabbits in because it still could be searched off Tiki.
Yeah.
Along with everything else.
If it was any other matchup, I may agree. But with this matchup and as bad as Rabbit is in this matchup, I'll disagree with that. Like, even if you search Rabbit off Tinky, it's still 1,500 to a bunch of 1,600 monsters.
Right.
Then again, though, also at the same time, if you look at Yuki's side deck, what could he put in over the rabbits when he does the whole conversion? Because I was counting the monsters. I think it was like 7. Let me look again. I think it's like 7 monsters. If you look, like, he has to take out the mazes, the sharks, and the rats. Like, he can't take out the rabbits, without. You understand what I'm saying? If you look at his deck.
Well, no, I mean, I think he just sides out all the monsters other than the Sangan and tour guides and puts the other ones in, and then that's. I think that maybe why he plays duality is because of the low monster count.
Yeah.
So that game 2 and 3, he can dig for his Tinkies and or monsters.
Chris, Yuki should have lost 100 more from the direct attack.
Yeah.
Steffon's right. So why are we even talking anymore? I mean, like
Sorry.
I can see how against most things that I would agree with keeping Rabbit, but it's absolutely awful in this matchup. Like I would almost rather risk losing because of not drawing many monsters than like not drawing many monsters and one of the only monsters that I draw being Rabbit.
Yeah.
Like,
I know one thing. Another thing was really crazy. You know, I'll be in Miami Wednesday, and I got 3 days to talk to people and see what I'm really gonna do. But I've been playing Water since like the deck first hit, and I've gotten close 2 times, almost topping regionals, and then almost topped this one. Like just like getting unlucky. It's just how underperforming that the Water deck is doing right now, and like how Fire Fists are everywhere is really making me reconsider. But I don't really want to play Fire and play all the mirror matches, like because that deck is just like everywhere right now. So. I don't know. Now things are all topsy-turvy now.
Where's the Reborn?
All right. Won't be the first time I've seen that.
Ooh, dang.
Where's the Reborn for Giovanni?
Yeah, either one. Anyone watching the Watchers chat? Anything going on in there interesting?
People are talking a lot of nonsense. I see something about shine balls. I don't think that has anything to do with this match.
Somebody's saying I guess he opens Rabbit warning Judgment. I mean that's a good opener. So
well, I think
I'm not sure why he searched Gorilla instead of Bear off of Tinky. Maybe he has a bear in his hand.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, ooh.
He did have it.
He did have the Reborn.
Well.
That's
looks like Giovanni's gonna be a 2-time champion.
I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Like Elijah's been running through everybody today. Like I don't know. He's just on fire. So, but that'll be a good match.
Well,
let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Yet.
He's not more on fire than Giovanni.
Well, actually,
wow, really.
Yesterday there was a free case tournament here in Florida, and Elijah participated, and he made the top 8 of that as well. It was an 8-rounder.
Yeah, he's awesome.
For top 8, so he's doing something right.
Did he play windups?
Yes, he did.
Go figure.
Yeah, see, I'm glad that he's doing the same thing that I did throughout the first 2 tournaments. Steffon, you did the same thing. I'm not really crazy about switching decks every tournament. If I'm playing a deck for a tournament, it's because I think it's the best deck. And
right.
I'm not gonna switch decks from one week to the next. Like I'm gonna stay playing the best deck. Like in my opinion, windups are the best deck in this format.
They are.
So if I was to enter this tournament, I would play windups, and I would let everybody know if I'm gonna play the next tournament, I'll be playing windups. It's just
so I assume in Miami you would be playing windups too.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Like I would play whatever deck I thought was the best at the time, because that in turn would be the deck that I would assume gives me the best chance of winning.
Right. I just like water so much.
I love Atlanteans. Like Atlanteans are fun. They're like I love the deck, everything about it besides the mirror match. The mirror match is abysmal.
That is just the fact that like you can just like lose to one card like Thunder King against windups is like solid, but they can come out of that like with Mage Shark, especially before monsters, and get out of Thunder King a lot easier than Water can. But a lot of my matches lately, like that one Dimensional Fissure, that one Macrocosmos, that one Thunder King just shuts down like everything, and for some reason I just can't do anything, and like that's really getting on my nerves.
But even aside from all that though, it's like even if you take out the Dimensional Fissures and macros, like I'm speaking specifically about the mirror match.
Yep.
And it's a coin toss.
Yeah, I mean, even when you hit with Moulin, it all depends on what you hit out of the hand. They can go salvage, and just catastrophes a really big factor in that matchup.
Yeah, it's such a toss up that whereas like the wind up mirror match, that's unless somebody opens the nuts, which I mean like it'll happen every once in a while.
Right.
But that's what wind ups are. that's what they are. So if that happened in a mirror match, then sure, that person was going to beat whoever they played.
Right.
But that and Factory, like Magician Shark and Factory, the only thing in the mirror match that are just like, oh, okay.
Yeah, right.
But
I know one thing that's making me reconsider. I really like the fact that, well, I mean, Giovanni's playing Veilers, but I'm such a fan of max season Veilers that I feel like I just can't play without him. But I mean, this Yuki guy went the whole tournament, is in top 4 right now with no hand traps whatsoever. So it's making me reconsider if I really just, like, if I do play water, if I need to just, stick with straight water and, trying to get my combos as fast as possible, or do I really still need to play hand traps? Like, a whole bunch of factors. I think it's pretty cool.
Well, I think hand traps all depend on the deck that you're playing them in. Like the reason hand traps kind of died down in like wind-ups and everything is because wind-ups already have those hands where like they'll open Factory with no monsters or no wind-up monsters that can activate. Like you may open Factory Magician or Factory Magician Rat.
Heavy Storm. No, I'm listening. That's a big heavy.
And so when that is a big heavy if it goes through.
Wow.
He's set.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, he didn't have the Starlight Road because he didn't Starlight Road the Tarantula and the 2 Gene Warps earlier. So.
Yeah. Is that game? That's game. Yeah.
That is game.
Is that game through?
Yep, it's over.
Wait a second. Whoa. Did that really just happen?
Yeah, game's over. Match's over.
That's unreal.
Draw the heavy, maybe.
What was the face? I'm sorry, I wasn't looking. What did he heavy?
Soul Taker.
And Dimensional Prison.
Oh my god, that is insane. I was waiting for you guys to stop talking so I could interrupt you and say, oh man, I bet Yuki feels really bad about, side decking in this cards. It probably cost him the match. But it totally turned around.
Yep.
You just drew a heavy in one.
Wow.
Well, Heavy Storm changes everything. It doesn't matter if you side deck correctly or not. If they have Heavy Storm and there's 3 back rows on the field and it goes through, then good things are gonna happen.
Yeah, that card and like card destruction, like cards that doesn't care how good of a player you are, is just like out of your control.
Wow. All right. Well, then, Steffon, Brandon, Michael, listen, I appreciated you guys doing this with me. I'd love to have you back anytime. But for now, I'm sure these guys don't want to look at a dual over screen for too much longer. So I'll let you all go.
All right.
And, take care.
Thanks, guys.
All right, Chris.